professional. No, goddamn it, you're muted. What endearing, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fake breaks, staying hydrated. It's shorty time. She's a fucking delight. Trial watching, trials and tribulations. It's Camp Shorty calling all nations. What are you drinking? Shall we skip this part? Left or right-handed? Shit, she slid it to the start. She's a fucking professional. Yo, goddamn it, you're muted. What endearing, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fake breaks, staying hydrated. It's shorty time. She's a fucking delight. Psychology corner. Let's learn about stuff. New Miss Shorty music. Calling their bluff. Best chat, best community. We've got the best mods. A safe, supportive sanctuary full of fun and love. Rock out with your cats out. Curse all you want. And here at Camp Shorty, we even say cause she's a fucking professional. You're goddamn it, you're muted. What endearing, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fake breaks, staying hydrated. It's shorty time. She's a fucking delight. Hey, shorties, what's doing, y'all? Get in here, shorties. Let's fucking go. Camp Shorty. Camp Shorty. Camp Shorty. Camp Shorty. So here's the thing with narcissists, they always have to win. They'll cast aspersions, they'll gaslight you. To them nothing's a sin. The narc, he wants to own you, your every waking thought. He'll love bomb, then disown you, cycle forevermore. But what if this is all just noise? Hurt people, hurting people, or either one of us so bad. It's either of us evil. The empath and the narcissist. Hurt people, hurting people. The narcissist, he needs to be the center of your world. And if you dare to shut him out, his mask, it's gonna fall. Just walk away, cut off his air, don't give him anything. Not gonna change, it's over, girl. Take this nothing as a win. But what if this is all just noise? Hurt people, hurting people, or either one of us so bad, or either of us evil. The empath and the narcissist. Hurt people, hurting people. Now here's the thing. With empaths, victory matters not one bit. We feel it all, yes, even his, the pain in the abyss. An empath, she can see it all from every awful angle. And those who ravage us the most are the ones we try to heal. They're drawn to us, they need our light. We shine from dusk till dawn. The most we'll do is shut you out while you are keeping score. But what if this is all just noise? Hurt people, hurting people. Is either one of us so bad, or either of us evil? The empath and the narcissist hurt people, hurting people. Oh, it's all just noise, forget the rest. All we can do is do our best. The empath and the narcissist, we're just two hurting grown-up kids. But what if this is all just noise? Hurt people, hurting people. Is either one of us so bad, or either of us evil? Hurt people, hurting people. The empath and the narcissist hurt people.
Hey, shorties. Oh my God, right on cue. I swear it's when I say, hey, shorties. Hey, good to see you. It feels like forever. Motion to scream, what the fuck? I promise I'll put my glasses on soon. Hi, Poppy. Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. Hi. Happy Friday, y'all. Y'all, you know the drill. Pig's ears. I don't know why I don't open them first. You know, I do know why. Because if I open them first, the bloody dogs go, oh, pig's ears time. And I'm like, nah, man, not yet. It's good to see you. New bag of treats. There's only ever 5 ears in these treats. And $15 a bag. Pig's ears. Oh my goodness. Now I can't open it. What am I doing with my life? Hi, I'm a professional. One for you, big boy. Fancy pig's ears. Yikes. Okay. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes late. Put it back by 10. You know me. Okay. Hey, hi. Hey, shorties. Thanks for joining. Friday night. So there's a poll. Let me check. Oh, God, I'm just seeing myself reaching for the bag on the other screen. All of the above. Good. Majority of you. I'll leave it up for a while. Hi, Shelley. Wait, hi, Shelley. I was going to wear my pig earrings, but I wore the cherries because I thought of you, Steph, and I'm like, Steph loves these earrings. Hi, Life Artist. Wait, hi, Simi. Hi, Life Artist. Hi, Steph. Hi, what the fuck? Ms. What the fuck? My bad. Apologies. Who else? Princey. Hi. Yes, cherry earrings. Got them on. Hi. Oh my God, that's probably booming in your ears, y'all. Goodness gracious. So, I mean, my eyeballs are strained. Sidebar, my eyeballs are strained from rolling them back in my head for the last few days in listening to court. Like, oh, we need this so much. Hank Brennan is 1 quadrillion % a psychopath. Diagnosing. Those were big pigs, yeah, right? Oh, wait, I'll chuck the bag over here. I mean, they're probably, Steph, the rest of these pigs are probably bacon now. Bacon. So that. Hey, also, I brought this plant over because I wanted to have it near me because I love it. It's newish. Look at this. Alocasia. Isn't it gorgeous? Just that. Next. What else is on the agenda? Just me chit-chatting with you guys. These days I have Alexa to chit-chat with. So she's great. I say good morning and she gives me a fun fact. Hi, Butterfly. Good to see you. Hi, Tony. Good to see you. Oh, see, this is the time where I have to put my glasses on. Was it in the Salty Sleuth stream last week or both on Saturday night? when what the fuck in the back in the private chat on not a Discord on here goes, man, if you don't put your glasses on, I'm going to screenshot you squinting trying to read. So now I can read. I don't have any earrings. Sad face. Well, Tony, you could what is it? You can. Where I don't know what state you live in, but I know people in Florida, those little lizards, people put lizards on their ears and clamp them on like earrings. You could do that. You could do that. Apparently, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So. Yes, bacon. Gorgeous. I love that plant. Yes, it's an alocasia. Oh, I just took the tag out of it because I was like, I don't want to show that I've still got the tag in it. Alocasia zebra? Maybe? Massive fan. Is that relevant? No, but it's okay. We can talk about whatever we want, can't we? Lizards, bacon earrings, lizards. I want lizard earrings. I feel like it was Salty and Joe Schmo talking about the fact that in their childhood, maybe my brain, I have it on a live stream that as kids or their kids or both, you can also take the bums off fireflies and put them all over your face and be iridescent. Apparently, we don't have fireflies in Australia. I don't think.
Well.
Oh my god. Tony says I don't have any lizards, but maybe I could get some small trout to volunteer. Yes, anything. Maybe I'm going a little bit crazy. Yes, like obviously. Hey, so goodness gracious, you guys. Very loud crunching of pig's ears. Shelley says, yes, Steph, we already went feral. Oh my God. Fuck. Jesus Louises. This week's been, whoo, in court. Whoo. I'm tired. Hurry up, please, defense. I know it's not relevant to the psychology corner, but please, defense case in chief, please do what you're going to do, and please, jury, like, please. Okay, anyway. Shelley says, anyone remember the critter making a machine like an easy bake for dudes? Good call. Motion screen, what the fuck, Brandon. My sons used to make them and stick them on their ears. Lol. I used to make, did you guys have Fimo? I'm sure it still exists. That like molding clay that you could bake into things. I used to make big Madonna earrings and they were so heavy. So clunky. Yikes. Okay. We've got angle. Wait. We've got an angle lizards around our house. Southern Louisiana swamp, after all. There it is. Yes, there it is. Plants is relevant for an emotional thermostat. New plants equals happy shorty. Absolutely. And now I've gone to myself, hey, you got to pay bills still? Plants don't pay bills, but I'll breathe better oxygen, right? Apparently. Creepy crawlers. Yes. Okay. Oh, Sam, hi, good to see you. Good. Cuddling with the cats. Coffee, yum. Shrinky dinks were fun too. I still can't see. My glasses are so bad. I had a petanoli. What's that? I still do shrinky dinks. What's them? Can't you used to be able to put chip packets. Chris, what do you guys call them? Chips, I guess. Potato chips. Packets in the oven and they'd shrink? Do we do that? I don't get the topic. What's the topic? Simi says, my childhood was spent on a military base in Germany. Wow. So I didn't get to see most of the American stuff from the 70s. What are you saying? That we're from the 70s? Oh, wait, yes. We all are. Oh, no, we're not all. Sorry. Motion to screen. What the fuck, granted. Sorry, Steph. Who else is on the younger side? Lots of plastic shrinks under high heat. Does polycarbonate shatter under low force? Now, I think we're good. You can buy it online. Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to Google that. So Professor Vaknin, I'm trying to work out where to start. I feel like pish posh. I'm a baby from the 80s. Exactly. Simi, you're not old. We're just all experienced in life and decades. Oh, chips packets in the oven are the same concept as shrinky dinks, but shrinky dinks, you have much more creative liberties. This feels like something I might enjoy. Can you put them in the air fryer? Now, hey, let's start with something super fascinating because I'm going to go ask about. Remember I told you last week, so hi, Psychology Corner. Hi, it's us. Talking narcissists. Yes, my oven's disgusting. When I moved in, it was disgusting, and I just went, no, fuck that. I'm just getting an air fryer. It's the best. Now, so remember I spoke last week. If you weren't here, we did like part 1. It's in Psychology Corner, in the playlist, Psychology Corner, Narcissists, Assholes and Flying Monkeys. Yes, that's what it's called. I haven't put this one in there yet. Remember last week I told you that I'd watched a fascinating thing from Professor Sam Vaknin, who is the founding father, the OG of like really in-depth research into narcissists. Here we go. Why do I choose a topic that I can't say the word for? He being, as Princey said, an admitted narcissist. So interesting. But remember I said he'd done an interesting, let me see if I can find it. Wait, is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Here's the thing. So he did a clapback, a reply. Somebody made some comments on one of his videos. When's this video from? I think it's, was it just recent? No, 11 months ago. Anyway, I happened upon it because that's all I do is watch this and Karen Reid trial stuff. Let me put it up on screen because my words aren't coming out very well. No surprise. While I think of it, sidebar chat. When I opened up my StreamYard yesterday afternoon, StreamYard told me you can now stream Kick from StreamYard. Yes, it let me easily link my Kick to my StreamYard because I have a Kick. It's Miss Shorty Delight. That takes me to a second sidebar. I'll come back to the first one at 9 Eastern tonight, so 11 a.m. Melbourne time today. The Glairer will be the special guest on Feral Friday with Publicly Buzz, so we'll be wrapping it up by then because that should be fun. We're watching Frankenhooker on Kick. So on Kick, it's basically the Wild West of streaming, right? There's almost no copyright restrictions, which effectively means you can watch movies, play music, copyrighted stuff that you just can't do on YouTube. So after this stream, we're going to finish theoretically in time for Feral Friday. So and you all should come along. It's so much fun. If you haven't, we start on YouTube. We sometimes it's we start on YouTube for a little bit, and then we all head over to Kick, and it's just a fun time. It's always a fun time. It's feral as fuck. So we'll finish in time for that, but I'm going to do a little test run from my StreamYard for Kick, literally a little 5-10 minute. Nicholas Ticholas, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's not porn. It's like Howard Steve. It's got boobs. There'll be boobs. It'll be hilarious. It's like porn horror, but not porn. Yes. I don't know. There's just definitely going to be boobs. The crowd always wants boobs. Me also. Let's watch the boobs and whatever the movie is. So we're going to do a little test. So if you haven't got Kick, because tomorrow night, I'm sorry, this is so many sidebars. We're getting into Psychology Corner next, I promise. But tomorrow night, after our YouTube week 6 recap of the Karen Reid trial, be horror corn. Thank you, Shelley. Corn, porn, horn. We're going to stream on Kick. We're going to watch A Body in the Snow, some of the parts. Karen Reid, the most recent Hulu Investigation Discovery documentary. I fucking love it. We can watch it together. So I'd love you all some of you maybe, come and see whether we can make this test work before Feral Friday after this live stream. in readiness for having so much liberty to watch whatever we want on Kick. I won't make any money off it, but that's okay. I'm the worst grifter ever. I basically don't make any money here either. So that. Now, have we got that all out of the way? 20 minutes in, yes. So, Poppy, please, for goodness sake. Out of the way, darling. Thank you, darling. I love you very much. Not the behaviour. If I was Emily D. Baker, I'd do a swoop right now.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye.
The whole reason I thought of that was because I went to share tab and I saw the Kick tab, and that reminded me. So thank you for your patience and enthusiasm. Now, it's called People Are Silhouettes. So here's what's funny about this, and I'll change the layout a little bit because it's an audio only interview, but then there's just a slideshow. My nose is running. Sorry, I don't know why. Just me. I'm delightful. I'm going to change. So basically, there's audio. Anyway, it's Sam talking about. It's Sam talking about, as an admitted narcissist, the view of the world through his eyes, like literally. I don't know. I feel like it can't be every narcissist, but anyway, let's play it. Let me see what we've got.
You may notice that I have rendered her a bit more masculine in the process. My sweet secret revenge. We also agreed to conduct the interview via audio.
Okay, so before we get going, Nick just asked, what do the purple crown and numbers mean? So it's a new YouTube feature. It's trying to encourage the grift. 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, YouTube introduced this tacky goal thing to set a goal that if we reach a certain number of dollars in super chats, that I'll do something, or you don't even have to promise anything. Those things mean how many people, where you are ranked in the shorty community as to how much you've gifted the channel in super chats. So that's cute. So if you're a competitive type, you could aspire to be number one in the numbers. That's all I know. It's very recent. Yes, the tacky goal thing looks really bad. I find it awful. Do not know how it works yet. I was looking on Andrea Burkhart's one because I thought it might have been in the bigger channels. Oh my God, we're still going sidebar. Wait, we may as well. I thought it might have been in the bigger channels with higher number of subscribers. But then when I went onto my YouTube channel, not StreamYard, before to set the poll up, I saw that it was there. So community, let me see. It's everybody in chat. So the people who are in chat right now, who are the number one gifters? So I find that interesting because no shade on Princey, but if you click on the thing at the top, it shows you, like, it says Stephanie blah 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 is only at 75 XP, whatever that is, but Steph throws money my way all the time. I don't know what I actually don't know what it means. But maybe we should Google it. Fuck. And then Princey, you're number one. Motion to screen, what the fuck granted. Number 2. Nick, number 3. I don't know. I'm not even sure. I don't know anything about anything. It's all about chatting too. Well, maybe there. I thought it was a dollars thing because when you look at the leaderboard, it says to get in the top on Andrea's channel, to get in the top 50, you'll have to donate more and more and more and more and more. The plot thickens. Oh, Simmy. Oh, this is a mystery. As if we need the distraction chat. Fuck. Anyway, that. Okay. Mr. Professor. My new crush.
I'm not quite sure why all these precautions, but I respect her wishes. So here goes.
Oh, that wasn't me.
She's had a few questions regarding the video I posted yesterday.
We don't know what the video was.
How do I experience people? You may wish to watch that video. It's
So
short. It's 8
full
minutes.
photo intentionally.
How do I experience people? And then she had a few questions. I thought the questions were pertinent and interesting. And so I invited her to conduct an interview. Introduction over. Let's delve right in.
Okay.
Many say that your video yesterday about how you perceive and experience people is overly dramatic.
This is the
It's
problem
supposed to
that
be. There's
victims
still
of
photos.
narcissistic abuse face. When they try to describe or convey or communicate the harrowing experiences they've had with narcissists, people tell them, you're exaggerating, you're over the top, you're being dramatic, you're being hysterical. And similarly, when narcissists try
Pause. So it's supposed to. It's a slideshow of photos that Professor Vaknin has selected, and he's responding to a few questions. Which sidebar? I actually wonder whether he wrote these questions himself. I mean, he's a narcissist after all. Regardless, his answers are absolutely riveting. So it's a 26-minute video.
try to communicate their internal experience. People often say, snap out of it. You're overthinking. You're not a narcissist. You're just an a-hole, for example. So people deny the reality of narcissism and even more so the reality of narcissistic abuse. And I think they do this because they want to believe in the essential goodness of the universe. They want to believe that evil never prevails. That
what are you doing?
Maybe even evil doesn't exist. They want to cast everything in terms that are non-threatening. If narcissism is just an exaggeration of daily traits, and if narcissistic abuse is just dramatizing typical domestic situations, then all is well, and there's no need to lose sleep at night. And this is why I reject the claims that my video yesterday has been overly dramatic. If anything, I think it understated the inner
I don't know what the
experience
video
of the
was yesterday.
narcissist. So that's all I have to say about this.
His playlist is so comprehensive.
In the video confession you posted yesterday, you said, and I quote, I experience people as dim apparitions, inert characters in a boring novel or a tedious, overlong film, lifeless, except when they provide me with narcissistic or sadistic supply, at which point they spring to life, like so many nutcrackers or gingerbread men, and become radiant, kinetic, idealized beings. Stuttering, then freezing frames in obsolete films or in burning celluloid photographs. Could you elaborate on that? Do you see people like that from the first minute you meet them?
That's actually an excellent question. First of all, I believe that the inability to visualize or to conceptualize people in your life is a form of aphantasia. Aphantasia is the inability to visualize, but I believe that there is mental aphantasia.
Hi, Teresa.
Narcissists, for example, have an empathy deficit, and I call it empathy aphantasia. They cannot visualize other people. They cannot put themselves in other people's shoes. They cannot bring other people to mind. They cannot hang on to the external and separate existence of other people. They internalize everything immediately. The entire...
Pause. Nick, God, you know, I'm sure you've been buying couches and wearing your robe and shit on the weekends lately, but we've missed you. We've missed you. I know I speak for all of Camp Shorty that we've missed you. You've been doing like gardening and going to the gym and shit. Like, fuck. Life. Imagine having a life outside of Camp Shorty. Rude. Like, how dare you, sir? That's assault. But you know what we say when Nick rallies the troops.
Good for them. I'm happy. But I just want to make sure that I am still held in the highest esteem of the
every time
system. It's not a deal breaker, but I'd like to know. Thank you.
Shit.
Thanks, Nick. You're in the draw, and do better. Maybe number 3 is because you haven't been around lately. Maybe YouTube went, some shorty he is. Nicholas Tickle is my ass. Come on, go. No. I just pressed it against accidentally, my bad. Play.
External world becomes just a figment of the narcissist's mind or imagination. So I believe it's a form of aphantasia. Now, when I meet someone for the first time, I see them through a glass darkly, as some kind of ectoplasm. Everything is very fuzzy. Everything is very, there are no contours. There's no delineation, demarcation.
You're in the draw for a mystery merch tea.
It's a fuzzy emanation. People appear to me to be faded, forlorn, not fully there, as if they were melting into the environment, as if they were dissolving. I mentioned yesterday wisps of smoke. I think that's the apt simile. Anyhow,
Simile.
when I first meet
Almost
them,
your
in my
name.
mind, they are mute. They're mute. Even if they talk, even if they're trying to communicate, even if they respond to my questions, they are on mute. And this is why narcissists, by the way, cannot handle conversations. They don't talk to you, they talk at you. They lecture.
At you. They can't.
And when you, as an interlocutor, respond to them or contribute your own piece, they become bored. They become distracted. They lose interest.
More
Because they're
money, Nick.
focused
More
only on
money.
what
It's
they
all
have
about
to
the
say.
money.
As far as they're concerned, you're not there. And if you are there, you are just a prop. And as a prop, you are not entitled to your own contributions to the conversation. And they mute you, as if your mouth is sewn shut. Narcissists view other people as if their mouths were sewn shut. It's a very eerie kind of visualization.
So I find this interesting. He's talking about how eerie it is to visualize people as he does, as a narcissist and as I guess someone in his, I should know. Why haven't I Googled how old Sam Vaknin is? What, 60s? Early 60s? That he even finds it surreal, and he talks more. So he goes further, obviously.
Or visual, but it's true. And so when I meet someone, they fade into and out of my frame. The frame is mine.
So he's speaking literally.
And they are there.
This is how he sees people.
As a courtesy, or as an annoyance, or as an intrusion. They're there and not there simultaneously. I remove them at will. Even if they are there physically, I can remove them and do remove them very often from my mind, psychologically and mentally. It's as if I see through them, as if they have become transparent.
Okay, now
It's the way healthy
behavior.
people
Come on now.
regard objects, inanimate objects, through their peripheral vision. You know, when you have an object at the very corner of your eye, and your gaze is directed elsewhere. In the case of the narcissist, the gaze is directed inward.
Don't lick me.
So the narcissist is unable to perceive objects peripherally, outside, externally, separately.
Well,
it's only when I consider people as potential sources of supply,
I'm a professional,
or as potential partners to be inducted into my shared fantasy. Only when I perceive them as possible collaborators or colluders or members of my cult. Only then they become alive in my mind. And when they do, when I say to myself, wow, this woman gives me enormous high quality narcissistic supply, or this guy can promote my work and my accomplishments, make me famous or whatever, it's only then that I transition from the zombie dead image of other people as zombies, as dead, I transition from that to the opposite pole. Suddenly, I develop an intense interest in people, an obsession with the details of their lives, and a fascination with their personality. So it's very goal-oriented. The goal is narcissistic supply, sex, services, and safety, the 4 S's. It's very goal-oriented in the sense that when I perceive or apprehend that someone is capable of providing these functions, giving me what I need, they spring to life. They are animated or reanimated. Otherwise, they are inanimate, inert, frozen. It's a very startling and unsettling transition, even for the narcissist. Suddenly, he notices people who are potential sources or potential partners. He suddenly notices them, and it's as if an object in your life would come alive. Imagine your refrigerator comes alive and begins to tap dance. It's as startling as far as the narcissist is concerned. But even then, people interest me as actors for my scripts. I have a script. I have a theater play, and they're auditioning. They're auditioning, and they're potential actors, or maybe they're props for the production of my shared fantasy. I cathect them. In other words, at that point, I invest in them emotional energy. This is called cathexis. So I cathect them. That much is true. But because I cathect essentially their representations in my mind, I cathect the internal object that represents people in my mind, not the people themselves. The people themselves have no existence, period, ever. They come alive in my mind as idealized objects. It's like an animated film that is based on people out there, based on characters out there. But my reaction is to the animated film, and I cathect, I emotionally invest in the animated film, not in the characters that feature in the animated film. And because this is the case, because I'm not emotionally invested in people, I decathect them with alarming alacrity, literally overnight. In other words, I emotionally uninvest. I emotionally withdraw. I avoid suddenly, abruptly.
Has anyone, I guess most of you are somewhat interested in this topic because it resonates with you. Alacrity, so many good words. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. Me? Who me? I don't know. For me, particularly it was most extreme with my psychopathic, like diagnosably psychopathic ex George. That he was almost like Terminator, like laser vision on you, not literally, but in terms of what energy they give to you or expect from you, and then when they're done, out of sight, out of mind, blinkers on, like laser focus, and then when they're done with you, they're fucking done. And thank God. Thank God. Now, Steph said, Nick, I keep waiting for him to ask me about my mother or something else Freudian. I swear to God. # no therapy, Steph. However, Professor Vaknin, I'm doing a whole lot of soul searching lately. I think that's why I'm feeling a bit like you said wet grass or mop water, Steph, lately. That I think for me, I'm feeling like wet carpet lately, and I think it's because I'm just sludging around in my brain again. I'm doing a lot of psychotherapy through the stuff that Sam, my friend Sam, is talking about to me in my ears when I'm not doing Karen Reed trial stuff. It's heavy work. I'm still trying to decide if maybe I'm a fucking narcissist. Yikes. I don't think I am. What if I am?
Unexpectedly, unpredictably, shockingly, overnight. So on Monday, you could be the love of my life. You could be my favorite person. You could be my most amazing business partner. You could be my best friend. That's Monday. And then on Tuesday, for whatever reason, maybe you criticize me. Maybe you disagreed with me. Maybe you set boundaries. Maybe you just ran your usefulness, ran out. Whatever the case may be, maybe I found an alternative. Whatever the case may be, on Monday, you were number one. On Tuesday, I barely recall your name, and I can't conjure up your face in my imagination. And I'm kidding you not. That's not an exaggeration. On Tuesday, you're gone.
Gone.
I don't care about you. I don't care if you die. You're utterly gone.
Gone. So he says, you can't, and gone. But cult also sound like cunt. Nick asked, are narcissists attracted to other narcissists or repelled by them? Honestly, I'm still this channel's been going for forever. I'm still trawling through just so much of his content to see whether that's there somewhere. And when I have a little, I don't want him to. I'm going to ask Professor Vaknin to come on the channel eventually. I'm not going to fools rush in, right? I'm not going to go in there thinking I know all the stuff and then have him laugh me off my own channel with my Brennan-esque questioning. So,
and just the day before,
we'll find out, Nick. It's on the list.
You were my life partner. You were my business partner. You were my best friend. You were my everything. You were my life. You are amazing. You are the entire universe. And the next day, you're nobody. You're nothing. You are something a scrape of my shoe, if I have time to. Oof. And so these transitions, it's not even devaluation. It's cathexis, decathexis. Emotionally invested, emotionally uninvested. Withdrawing the emotional investment and redirecting it elsewhere. And that is shocking to the victims. They just can't perceive and countenance the fact that they have been of zero importance to the narcissist, that they have meant nothing, that they were just excuses to create internal representations, inner objects with which a narcissist could interact, which he could idealize and devalue in his own demented need to reenact childhood conflicts. They can't grasp this. At some point, the narcissist loses all interest, and it's very sudden. He moves on.
Vaknin.
When I do, I lose all interest and I move on. I don't give a second thought to the people I've left behind because I've never perceived them as people. I experienced my life and I experienced my past as a novel or a movie. I'm more of an observer than a true participant. So everyone in the book or on the set are characters, like a video game, like characters in a video game.
No real surprise, is it?
When the film is over, the novel has been read, the characters are sealed forever among the covers of the novel, of the frames of the movie. They're trapped like ants in amber. They become vague memories. It's very hard for me to grasp these memories.
I love you, Pierre.
When I'm reminded of something, for example, suddenly a scene erupts and I recall a specific street, a specific moment. So I can't place another person in that scene. I'm all alone. I know cognitively that I've been to that restaurant, or I've been to that street, or I've been to that shop with someone. And I also know cognitively that at the time, that person who has been with me was very meaningful to me. And yet I can't recall who it was. And I definitely cannot recall anything beyond names and usually first name, if I'm lucky. I cannot conjure up a face, Nick, a body, taste, a smell, interactions, specific conversations, almost nothing. 10% maybe of what has happened. This, of course, has to do with dissociation, but I don't think it's only dissociation. I think narcissists don't care. They simply don't give an F, or they don't give an S about other people. Other people are there to be used, sometimes abused, and discarded. Like, I don't know, a shovel, or they are just objects, instruments. And you wouldn't invest emotionally in the long term in your refrigerator. Can you recall your first refrigerator or your first smartphone? Or some people can. I cannot.
Simi, you're number 2. Cannot. Keep chatting, so, Nick. Type anything. Just type anything.
I'm trying to get it across. It's such an alien experience that I am not quite sure that, you know, it's doable. I'm not quite sure that I'm.
Sorry, Sam. Sidebar. Here's the thing. In Andrea's chat, when I looked at the leaderboard, I'm like, I see people, because I don't ever go into the chat, because I did a super chat, just a small one, just to say thank you to Andrea Burkhart, and I was like, and I saw the leaderboard, I'm like, and it specifically said to me, if you want to get higher on the leaderboard, you need to do at least, I swear to God, it said 50 plus. There's 50 plus people ahead of you on the leaderboard. Send more money. I was like, I haven't got any more money. Like, I'm fucked with money. Hi, Debbie. Okay, what do we got here? Motion to screen, what the fuck, created's got something for us. What has she got? I can't see that. Oh, great. I'm going to look fantastic getting real close. What the fuck? Come on and read it out for us. I can't see it. Oh, my God. Highest esteem, Nick. You know, you don't have the highest esteem. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to lean up really close, and it's not going to be pretty, but it's what I'm going to do. I can't.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, my
God. Okay, so it says it, how do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages, send super chats, and super stickers. So sending chat messages is how you get more, which is why I'm 1 right now, because I just keep sending highs and other BS. So that's what's going on.
Problem solved. So it's a cumulative compound of all 3. So you need to be an active participant in all senses of the YouTube live chat word. So Nick, get typing. Just type drivel, Nick.
Yeah,
Thank
Nick
you. That's
4.
awesome. Okay. Nick.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you. That's amazing. Okay, that's amazing. Amazing. Sounds like it's time to vie for the throne. I think that we surely can do this. Simi, Maybe, Simi, maybe it's because you always request the dad jokes. I don't know, man. Okay, Professor Vaknin.
I'm succeeding.
Is it because they cease to exist when they cease to give and I expect to be treated as transactionally?
Hi, Debbie. Hi, Candy.
Well, yeah, there is the element of transactionalism or transaction. When people are no longer of use, so why invest scarce resources in recalling them?
Nick,
What's
you're
the
our
purpose
king.
of remembering someone if that someone will never again be in your life and cannot contribute to it in any way, shape, or form? So I don't bother to recall. I erase memories
keep
because I need
going,
the space, you know. I do miss what I got from them. I do miss the functions they had fulfilled. Sex, maybe, supply, services, and safety. But even when, for example, I recall the sex, I'm all alone. I'm all alone in the frame of my memory. There's nobody there. There's only me.
And the
I
narcissist
know
also.
fuzzily and vaguely that someone had been with me in bed, but that someone is generic, interchangeable, faceless, lifeless. And so the focus is on me. It's very autoerotic. I can't recall people at all, although I recall perfectly periods in my life.
Tony, extraordinarily lonely. I can't remember if it's in this. He does a lot of interviews. He's a narcissist. He likes to hear his own voice, and he generally doesn't talk about himself. But I do recall him talking about it being a lonely, surreal existence. It really does sound very lonely. No wonder they're such miserable people, like miserable. I mean, that's the core of it, really, isn't it? The miserable nature of the husk. They don't have a core. They're just a husk of they're not even subhuman. Yikes. I have depth. I'm not a narcissist, lol.
And not necessarily the periods, because I don't have autobiographical recall. I don't have episodic memory. But I recall periods, a generalized atmosphere, especially if the period has been rich in abundant narcissistic supply. Then I miss that period. I miss the adulation at my accomplishments. I don't miss the people. Service providers are interchangeable. I miss the fact that they have been there to witness my glory and grandeur. I miss the fact that the period that I've shared my life with these people has been rich in narcissistic supply. So it was a good period.
Don't love anything.
I miss
They
that.
can't.
But even then, if push comes to shove and you press me for details, I can't give you details. 90%, if not 95% of my memories are gone. I've once made an exercise. I tried to write down everything I remembered from my 8 years marriage.
This is wild.
My first marriage lasted 8 years. And so I wrote down bit by bit, detail by detail, event by event, place by place, time by time, everything that I recalled from that marriage, 8 years. When I tallied these memories, when I added them, the cumulative time was 1 hour. I recall 1 hour from my 8 years long marriage. And I have extreme difficulty to recall the face of my first wife, anything about her, or anything would be an exaggeration, but like 99%.
8 years, 1 hour of recollection. And
remember maybe 5 things she's done and 5 things I've done.
Crazy.
And that's just about it. 8 years. Those were intensive 8 years. Very.
So do you remember last week we were talking about why narcissists can't hear you and why and so there's actual like physiological selective hearing when it comes to narcissists, the way their brain has their inner monologue versus external monologue, and if the two don't correlate, they're not the same. If what's being said externally inputted into their brain, it doesn't. Like, remember he said it was like a wine bottle and the messages just don't get in. The narcissist's brain chooses to listen to and believe their internal voice and what their brain is telling them, and that's what they remember. But because they don't take anything in, if it doesn't fulfill their own narrative of themselves or the situation or the other person, then it stands to reason that if nothing's getting in, they don't remember it. So if it's not important to them, crazy. Makes sense. So I just think it's amazing that it's really insightful to hear from someone talking about their experience inside out versus just theorizing and speculating, albeit research-based speculation from a lot of people in the profession who probably are narcissists, like, let's be honest.
So
Or have
this is the
narcissistic
situation.
tendencies.
And I know it's unbelievable.
That's
It's
a tiny
incredible. It
wine,
sounds
Nick.
as
What are
if
you
I'm
talking about?
inventing
It's in my
something,
wine.
confabulating maybe, or exaggerating, or dramatizing, overthinking, but it's not. It's the truth. So, anything else?
In the same video, you said, people pass through my perimeter,
What the
devoid
fuck's
of all
the number one?
significance, their limbs askew, their mouths gaping. They invariably exit stage left, never to be brought to mind. Care to explain that?
I think it's
We missed you, Akash.
self-explanatory, but I'll give it a go, give it a try. People are fleeting intrusions into my inner world. Regrettably, as a narcissist, I depend on the output or the input from people, their output and my input from people. I depend on people, and I hate this. I resent this. Unlike the psychopath, I am not self-sufficient. I am not self-contained.
Fascinating.
And that's narcissistic injury. Why am I dependent on people? People are stupid. People are inferior. I hold people in contempt. All people, by the way, no exception. I hold people in contempt. Why should I be dependent
Right,
on them? I'm
Kathy?
so vastly
Wild.
godlike and superior. So I grant people temporary access to my life and to my mind. But when people are expended, when they have become of no utility, when they're no longer useful, when the shelf life has expired, I discard people. And I think the best analogy would be the way you discard a battery. Yeah, I discard people the way one discards an old battery. My life is the smartphone, and people are the batteries in my smartphone. So when the battery is over, you throw the battery, replace it with a new battery, but the smartphone remains the same. And of course, you don't pay attention to the battery. You don't memorialize the battery. You don't recall the battery. You don't emotionally invest in the battery. You don't get attached to the battery. You don't bond with the battery. You don't make love to the battery. You know, I mean, a battery is a battery is a battery. You just take it out, throw it to the garbage, and buy a new one who looks exactly the same, and put it in and forget about it. It's invisible. It's invisible. It's crucial to the functioning of the smartphone, but it's still invisible. And it's invisible when it's in use, and it's invisible when it's discarded. It's precisely the way I see people. And I hope this time I succeeded to get through, because it's becoming more and more difficult to kind of, and I'm not quite sure, I see in your eyes that I'm not quite doing it, getting it.
So, this is true. I have nostalgia for the period, for memories of abundant, high-quality supply, never for people.
Very
I
good
don't miss
analogy.
anyone ever. They are mere sepia
Same,
memories
Kathy.
trapped in the amber of my mind.
New poll.
Yeah, of course it's true. Otherwise, why would I say? It's true. I think of it as a form of self-supply via secondary supply involving recall, involving memory. But to remind you, secondary supply is when someone witnesses your moments of glory and triumph and accomplishment. As a narcissist, you have someone by your side who is a constant witness to your triumphs and victories.
And you can't vote more than once,
and
Nick.
achievements and status and glory and glamour and so on. And that someone by your side is like a tape recorder. She has to play back these moments in order to regulate the flow of supply when supply is meager and deficient.
Good to see you.
That's secondary supply. But narcissists also engage in self-supply. And I think memory, in the case of narcissism, is a form of self-supply and a form of secondary supply. In other words, when the narcissist doesn't have anyone by his side to remind him how great he is, how amazing he is, how he hypnotized and enthralled the audience, how he...
Simi, Shorty has brilliant mods. When I dig out my laptop, I'm going to learn mod stuff. You know what? I used to do all my moderating from my phone. I don't think I've very rarely have I moderated from a laptop. So that.
How he was amazingly incisive and insightful and what have you, when there's no one there to tell the narcissist how the false self is not false and how his grandiosity is justified. When there's no one there, the narcissist does it for himself. He becomes his own source of supply, source of secondary supply. He becomes his own tape recorder. And so he needs memories. He uses memories. The narcissist sits back and says, let me now remember the amazing lecture I've given or the amazing seminar I've given and how the audience was utterly enraptured. Let me remember this. Let me recall this. And by remembering it and by recalling it, let me supply myself. This would become narcissistic supply. So this is my view of memory, the function of memory in narcissism. When I recall, when I dredge up moments of triumph and self-imputed, self-aggrandizing glory, I become my own source of secondary narcissistic supply. It is then that I come as close as possible to self-sufficiency. And self-sufficiency matters to me because I'm godlike. I should not rely on other people. I should not be dependent on other people. It's humiliating. It's shameful. So self-supply is a way to convince myself that I am not dependent on anyone. So I'm emotionally invested in being self-sufficient. I have a vested interest to erase people from my mind.
Kathy. It's the way
because it renders me my own source of supply. And it removes my unsettling ego-dystonic dependency on others. In other words, if I erase people from my memory, then I can lie to myself and deceive myself that I've actually never needed people. I've never been dependent on people. It was all my doing. I can self-supply in the total absence of people. And that's great. It makes me feel even more godlike. I have an inbuilt incentive as far as narcissism goes. As a narcissist, I have an inbuilt incentive to pretend that my life has always been devoid of and barren of other people. They've never been.
Sorry, Sam. Simi, yes. Your name's been bantered around in our little mod world for a while, and and when you said that, I'm like, you know what? Let's just fucking do it. Welcome to the mod squad, girl. You might have to get Discord now so we can chat. Hi, Joe Schmo. I see Joe Schmo. Hi. Simi, congratulations. Joe, welcome back. New wrench ho. Well, of course. We love you. I'm going to start crying. Stop. We might even have to play wrench hose just to cleanse the palate so we can get our crying gum and play wrench hose. Hang on, we'll get to the end of this video. We're almost there. Wait, we're literally almost
there. And they've never contributed anything of significance to me. I've always been self-reliant, self-supplying, self-sufficient, and self-contained. Like, for example, in this interview.
Thank you, Professor Vaknin. Right. Shall we have a music break of wrench hose? It's rather fitting. Not that you're a wrench hose, Sibby, but, hang on. Let me get my shit sorted. Lol, that's hilarious. So, Tony P, I know you're a wrench, so please, you're not a wrench. You're a moderator, a fantastic one at that in uncivil law. Please don't take offense, anybody, to this song. It's a throwback to a certain time. I mean, there's plenty of these around. None of my beautiful moderators, none of the people in this chat who are moderators on other channels in any way are included in this group. However, there are quite a few wrench hoes out there. I'm sure you'll agree. Let's listen
now
to this.
Some music. The supreme leader decrees it.
This is madness, living in your sadness. Girls go wild, acting like a child. This is not a game. This is reputation. Hang your heads in shame instead of demolition. What the fuck is in the water? Send good people into the slaughter. Messing with folks like you think you're God. Oh my God, far enough. This shit's gotta stop. This is not a game. This is reputation. Hang your heads in shame instead of demolition. Stop now, get over it. Y'all are not but crumbs of shit. Got a blue wrench, big deal, so what? Creator, give it, creator, take it, the hit. This is not a game. This is reputation. Hang your heads in shame instead of demolition. Who the fuck do you think you are? Think that you have all the power? No way, ladies, no you don't. Sit the fuck down, go take a shower. Wrench hose, fucking wrench hose. Watch, I'll do something productive. Instead of sucking creators' dicks. This is not a game. This is reputation and your ass in shame. Instead of demolition. This is madness. Living in your sadness. Girls gone wild, acting like a child. This is not a game. This is reputation and your ass in shame. Instead of demolition. Pity the fool who takes on you. Wash your mouth out, shame on you.
It just hits so great every time. Geez, that one caused a fucking scandal. Sometimes winches crave wrenches, unfortunately. Chad. We had it's a fine line a creator walks in choosing a mod squad. I'm of the opinion that we have the most warm, welcoming, close-knit, professional, fun, funny, informed, caring, loving, dedicated, passionate moderators here on the YouTubes. It just is. Holly Street, did Wrench Hose just call you? Holly Street, did you hear Wrench Hose? Professional as fuck, friendly as fuck, best mods on the planet. Yes, great news. So I wrote that song. I held on to it for a little while, and then I was like, you know what, these fucking hoes. I'm releasing the song, and they all went wild. Scandal. I'm happy. So. Now, we have another video. Speaking of, that's a fantastic unintentional segue to the next one we're going to go with, the next Sam stuff. Thanks, mods. Best mods. Fucking hose. Sit yourself down, go and take a shower. Not you all. Blue in any channel. The ones who I'm talking about know exactly who they are, and I have a feeling they're kind of watching. The numbers went down when we watched a bit of Sam Vaknin, but we're going to watch some more. We're going to watch some more. Let's watch the stuff on Malicious Envy because it did, Holly. I know it. I knew it. Malicious Envy. So anybody who was around and in the know about the shit that happened over, I don't know, December, January, February, still goes on occasionally, but whatever. Best thing being called Giardia. I love that for me. Fine. That's fine. I think that you're all pathetic weirdos, but not you all, them all. Hi, lurkers. Hi, awful lurkers. Look, 4 numbers have just dropped away. Hey, their ears are burning. They're melting because I see right through them. Let's watch this one. Fascinating. Oh, why is it there? I feel like I started it there for a reason, but it might not be that at all. Let's go back. So Malicious Envy. So I'm kind of doing this a little bit ass about. Oh, look how tiny I am there. That's funny. Oh, geez, I'll fix that in a second. That was just because anyway, they can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth. So this is so ask about covert narcissists tend to be more, and if we get time, yeah, we should. We'll go into looking at covert versus overt narcissists, right? But so, I mean, shall I just let Sam explain it because he is Professor Sam Vaknin after all. Let's do it. What do we got?
Or whatever. And you want to destroy this object of frustration.
Wait, I didn't go from the very beginning. Shit. Nostril.
Malicious envy is when you want to destroy someone who keeps frustrating you by being superior to you. Someone who is above you intellectually. Someone whose accomplishments you crave but can't attain. Someone who gets all the beautiful girls, all the wealthy clients, and all the academic recognition or whatever. And you want to destroy this object of frustration. Malicious envy should be distinguished from benign envy and jealousy. They're not the same. benign envy and jealousy motivate you to measure up to the object, to the person that you admire, to emulate them, to imitate them, to better yourself. So, malicious, destructive envy is when you want to destroy someone. Benign envy, jealousy, especially benign envy, is when you want to build yourself up to be like the person that you admire and envy. Now, is malicious envy a form of sadism? And how are all these connected to narcissism? This is the topic of today's video: the covert narcissist, sadistic envy, and its fantasy, because fantasy has something to do with it. My name is Sam Vaknin. I'm the author of Malignant Self-Love, Narcissism Revisited. I'm a former visiting professor of psychology and currently on the faculty of CIAPS, Center for International Advanced Professional Studies, Commonwealth, I'm sorry, they changed the name, Commonwealth for International Advanced Professional Studies in Cambridge, United Kingdom, Toronto, Canada, and an outreach program in Lagos, Nigeria. Today's topic is dark. Indeed, sadism is one of the 4 elements in the dark tetrad personality, as we shall see a bit later.
Pause.
The topic of today's video has been triggered.
Double fuck. So we've done a video on dark triad, which is it takes 3. Also sidebar. Also have a song. But the dark dark triad is requires 3 of these personality traits: psychopathy, Machiavellianism, and now my brain. I don't think it's psychopathy. Narcissism, Machiavellianism, and maybe it is psychopathy. My brain's forgotten. Perhaps. But the tetrad adds in sadism, so it's a 4-pronged thing, and it's even dark tetrad is even more rare than the dark triad.
By a recent study published in the journal, the academic journal, Personality and Individual Differences, volume 205, April 2023, so it's cutting edge, it's the latest. And the study is titled Pathological Narcissism and Sadistic Personality, the Role of Rivalry and Malicious Envy. It's a mega study.
Thanks, what the fuck? Wait, I'm just typing.
Conducted on
I've never done this before. Jeez Louise. Let me finish this one thing and then thanks, Micah, for the super chat. My brain. Let me just type the rest of this, and I could have just said the words out loud. But that. Micah goes, the fuck is this leaderboard shite? Well, we've established, well, motion to screen, what the fuck, granted, worked out for us that it's a new feature on YouTube. I mean, theoretically, it entails high chat activity, so live chat interaction, super chats, and super stickers. So basically, YouTube's trying to help us grift. Nick is not thrilled at all with the rankings being established, arbitrary rankings, in my opinion, but apparently not. But Micah, throw money at me. I'm sure it helps. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's not God, be grateful I don't do the stupid goal things. Like, I love Runkle, but man, I mean, I'm sure he makes a lot of money, but I don't know, begging for money and setting goals feels like this.
Sample of adults in, where else? Italy, where envy rules and reigns. But before we go into the study, analyzing the study, benefiting from its outstanding outcomes, let me give you a bit of an introduction. I started this video by asking, is malicious envy a form of sadism? Is the wish to destroy your betters a form of sadism? Does it involve an evil intent to, for example, inflict pain
I mean,
bask in the agony of others, gratify yourself with their writhing, torturing them to the point of feeling omnipotent. This is all true in the makeup of the covert narcissist. Now, to remind you, covert narcissism has several elements. Envy is a major thing with covert narcissists. They display pseudo humility, false modesty.
yeah,
I'm
it's
just
gross.
one of the guys.
It is.
I'm exactly like you. I can understand you. They also have victimhood, a victimhood stance. They're always the victims. They never do wrong. They can never do wrong.
Yes, yes, yes.
They always somehow fall prey to unscrupulous people or abusive intimate partners
Agree.
or institutions which are out to get them. And in this sense, covert narcissism is a close kin, a first cousin of paranoia. Most covert narcissists entertain paranoid ideation on a regular basis. The victimhood stance, the victimhood position.
Micah, that's a kind of cool palindrome. My son's birthday is 221211. I think that's an even cooler number, but 6886 is good. Sadly for you, though, you're the only country in the world that puts the month first. Just saying.
Being a
So in
perpetual
the rest of the
and
world, it's not
professional
a palindrome.
victim, this excludes any other explanation to reality except some conspiracy against you. If you spend your entire life believing that you're a victim, then people are out to get you. There's malign attention and intent.
Sorry, Sam, but more to the point, how am I emotion discrete? What the fuck, granted equal? I mean, fair. She does do all the work. Oh, Nick. Wait, Nick's throwing more money. Oh, no, it's not. Wait, Nick. No, Shelley wants to test the crowd thingy. Okay. Y'all are obsessed. I'm dying. Buying my way to the top table. I'm fine. I love you, YouTube. I'm sorry for everything I've ever said about you. This is great. Nick, save your money, honestly. Although I just did get a $947 gas bill when I don't have to pay for gas because of my leaking gas, my water tank, hot water system. Fuck. So thanks. That'll go a long way. Oh, wait. We're going to do other things. This sort of thing. You know what? This.
I'll take any motherfucker's money if he giving it away. Shit.
On the upside, Nick, you'll go in the draw for a Miss Shorty merch shirt. I'm sure if you win, you'll pick the Saint Miss Shorty one, right? Of course. Good. Agreed.
Attention focused on you.
Thank
of
you.
course, it's narcissistically gratifying. It's a form of
And
displaced grandiosity. If you can't obtain supply, narcissistic supply directly, and covert narcissists are covert because they can't obtain supply directly.
They can't.
They fail. They're kind of collapsed narcissists. Then you can obtain supply by believing
You're
yourself
drawing this tomorrow night,
to be the victim of your betters, the victim of institutions, public intellectuals, God knows what. So, pseudo-humility, a victimhood stance. But underneath all this, there is sadistic, malicious envy.
Oh my God. Pause. Think about anybody in your life or maybe in the YouTube world that might fit the bill with some of this stuff. Like, I'm going to draw directly on my own lived experience that most of you all lived through with me. Remember how hell-bent on my destruction certain players in this corner of YouTube were? Interesting. It doesn't matter. USA number one. Yes, of course. You all are the narcissists of the planet. The USA is the narcissistic nation in the population of the world, in my opinion. I love you all very much, but it's a fact. You can be number one. Of course you can. Yes, you're the number one. You and Brennan both. Number one.
The number one characteristic
of
the covert
Even Sam
narcissist,
said so.
in my view. It drives the passive-aggressive urges of the covert narcissist, as we shall
True.
see a bit later.
Like narcissists.
Now, the covert narcissist compensates for this with fantasy, because he's
Pause.
not self-efficacious in reality.
Now, I've seen, and I haven't watched it yet, Pierre, but Professor Vaknin says there's no such thing as sociopathy. I haven't watched that particular video. And I think that's just semantics, sociopathy versus psychopathy. To me, they're one and the same. It's a minimizing verbiage. Sociopaths versus psychopaths. People say that sociopaths are nurture, whereas psychopaths are nature, genetic. And there is apparently some studies to show that psychopathy does have a genetic component, not just environmental, over narcissists, which is almost certainly narcissists. Sorry, almost certainly, upbringing, but often it goes down through the generations because trauma breeds trauma, right? Hurting people. But we'll get there with that one. I find that interesting too. So covert narcissism is the most, in Sam's opinion, Professor Vaknin's opinion, is the most like psychopathy as any of the styles of narcissism. The grandiose, malignant, the overt narcissists are less insidious, less pernicious than covert narcissists. And I have got a video queued up to watch some of that stuff in this stream if we get time, which we should actually. Wouldn't that be amazing if we got through all our videos? I've got 4 videos linked in the description box, though, if you'd like to watch them over again. We might not get to all 4, but they're there.
He is unable to secure outcomes in reality. He resorts to fantasy. And the fantasy could be anything. I'm a good person.
Poke 2 supers. What am I doing with my life? Jeez
doing
Louise.
battle with supervillains. I am the power behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Pause.
I am the true inventor or discoverer.
God, you guys. Shelley, test. YouTube knows us all too well. Thank you, Shelley. Oh my God. And then Motion just screamed, what the fuck, granted member for 5 months. Psst, I'm still number 1. Are you still? Yeah, well, that was only 4 minutes ago. Y'all get on it. Test. And chat, more chat. This is crazy. Y'all are going insane for this. Who would have, maybe YouTube did some studies on human behaviors in chats and realized that competitiveness is a key component. Oh, wow.
Shit.
Boom. Thanks, y'all. Test.
Discoverer of this and that. I'm a rescuer, a savior, a healer, etc. One of the roles of the fantasy is
Did it affect
to
your ranking, Pokemon?
make the covert narcissist feel safe. We'll discuss it a bit later. Okay. Now, our well-being depends on connectivity. So narcissists of all stripes, overt, covert, somatic, cerebral, inverted, you name it, all kinds of narcissists are hurtful. They hurt you.
Ooh.
Hurt people. Because they deny the possibility of true connection. They are one step removed. They are behind the glass, darkly.
Here?
The sadistic
Prime
component
butterfly.
in narcissistic pathologies is related to power, not only to pain. Classical sadism is about deriving gratification from hurting others. Other people's pain is nectar and ambrosia and a wonderful, wonderful thing to behold. Sadistic supply is about being gratified by inflicting pain on others and witnessing their writhing agony.
True. Nick says politicians are generally narcissists. They kind of have to be. Biden, Trump, Clinton, all narcissists. Yes, even Barack Obama, which I found interesting. It makes sense. You guys are crazy. And I love it. I love it. Shelley, you went down. Well, that didn't work. That doesn't help. That doesn't help YouTube's grift, because if YouTube grits the grift, YouTube wins. YouTube always wins. Oh my God, I don't win.
But in the case of narcissism, sadism is connected to power, not only to pain, also to pain, but to power. More precisely, the sadism in narcissistic personality disorder has to do with the power to inflict pain. So it's pain one step removed. The narcissist derives a sense of omnipotence, a gratification of his grandiose inflated self-image, the buttressing of his fantasy of omnipotence and omniscience. His whole structure lies on the ability to inflict pain on other people who are at his mercy, beck, and call. In other words, the narcissist is more likely to act sadistically with his nearest and dearest. The narcissist interprets intimacy as the license to inflict pain. Intimacy empowers the narcissist. It grants him the power to inflict pain. It gives him access. It provides him with the levers and the leverage to somehow torture people around him. And so this is about power, not only about pain, and most notably the power to inflict pain. Now, sadism can be externalized and aggressive, inflicting pain, but it can also be passive-aggressive.
He said non-narcissist.
Is the bread and butter of covert narcissism.
Steph?
Passive-aggressive sadism involves frustrating someone, withholding, avoiding, tantalizingly suggesting something, and then going back on your word, breaking promises. All these are forms of
breaking promises. Major breaking promises, going back on what they're on their word. Get the fuck out of here. Anyone else enjoy Hank today? Asks Shelley. He gave me great joy with his absurdity. I swear I've strained my eyeballs in the last couple of days with just like, oh my God, like that chick, like the court reporter. Yeah, it's stressful, man. It's like I just want to listen to some nice soothing stuff, watch some stuff that doesn't make me go, oh my fucking God. Well, the Karen Reid trial is not going to do that for us, but we'll see. Maybe the end result will be.
Of sadism. But of course, narcissists, whether overt or covert, are not totally cognitively impaired.
That's it, Pierre.
And some of them are not even intellectually challenged. They realize that inflicting pain on people can have adverse outcomes, can result in vengeance, vindictiveness, revenge, and retribution. Somewhere deep inside, they know, narcissists and covert narcissists know that they're playing with fire, that there is karma, that one day they're going to pay the price. And wary of these possible unwanted outcomes, narcissists withdraw into a world of fantasy. And in this world of fantasy...
So remember last week we watched stuff about shared fantasy and withdrawing into a world of fantasy, which correlates to that whole actual selective hearing and choosing to believe and listen to the inner monologue and what they want to believe versus the external, and that's their own fantasy, but they inflict that fantasy on others, and that's where the gaslighting or the effect of the ostensible gaslighting comes in. No spoilers. No spoilers on your Nettie today. I'm not up to it yet. Gosh, I'm only up to almost the very end of I called him Delta Daddy. Apparently in Defense Diaries, y'all called him Data Daddy. What a good-looking gentleman he is. Smart and pretty.
Fantasy. They're not hated. They're not derided. They're not decried. They're not shunned. In this world of fantasy, no one wants to harm them. No one wants to punish them for their misdeeds. In this world of fantasy, they can torture other people. They can inflict pain. They can exert power.
Dashboard Daddy.
And none of this is going to have any consequences. Daddy. Now, the sadistic component in narcissistic personality disorder has to do with the power to inflict pain, even if this power is not used, even if it is ambient and atmospheric. But in the narcissist's mind, once he has the power, even if it's not used, it is somehow discernible and visible. Remember, the narcissist interacts with internal objects, not with external objects. So if he has the power to torture you, in his mind, he has tortured you because he interacts with your representation in his mind. So
You're
the
always number
potential
one for
to
us,
cause you
Joshua.
pain in his mind translates into having caused you pain. So narcissists are constantly hypervigilant, on their toes, and anxious because they know that they are hurting people on a regular basis. They realize that some people are going to lash out and lash back. There's going to be payback. They know this. And the only refuge.
Pause. So I don't know if you're actually listening, chat, but he's talking about narcissists who test the boundaries and do bullshit things to people around them, not intentionally, to quote Sarah Boone. Psychopaths, like narcissists, know what they're doing, but they know what they're doing and they know that it's going to hurt the person, but they believe their hype, right? Psychopaths do it intentionally. They do it with malice and ill intent. But for me personally, these days, I'm the person who not taking that shit, not here for your shit. Remember Bait and Switch? We listened to that song last weekend. Not here for your shit. It takes me a couple of weeks these days to see the forest for the trees with a narcissist and go, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Bye, narcissist. Hey, narcissist, what's up? And then bye, miss me. They don't like it. They don't like it. I'm melting.
And in this fantasy, nothing bad is ever going to happen because the narcissist is adulated and loved and adored and corseted and shielded from the consequences of his actions. Because the narcissist in this fantasy world perceives himself as some kind of treasure, a preciously unique artifact, or a childlike entity. Who's going to punish a child? Who's going to hurt a child? And who's going to destroy the magnificence and uniqueness of an intellectual treasure, such as the narcissist?
Nick, you're number 2.
The more sadistic the narcissist, the more evolved the fantasy. Fantasy in this sense is compensatory. Now, covert narcissists have a much richer fantasy life than overt or grandiose narcissists. For 2 reasons. Number 1, covert narcissists cannot operate well in reality. They're not self-efficacious. They fail. They're failures. They're collapsed. So the only way for them to generate supply is via self-supply in a fantastic world, in a paracosm.
That's disgusting, by the way.
The second reason covert narcissists have a much more developed fantasy world is that they hurt people much more.
No scat play.
They are overt, grandiose narcissists are in your face. You see them coming. You can defend yourself and protect yourself against them. The covert narcissist is a snake in the grass. He's subterranean.
Do not Google it or chode.
Works via subterfuge and stratagems.
Tell Moshe to scream what the fuck created what a Boston steamer is.
He's conniving, he's cunning, he's scheming. And in this sense, the covert narcissist is very much like the psychopath, only without the daring acknowledgement of the psychopath, without the psychopathic facade or the psychopathic defiance or recklessness. Covert narcissists are poison, slow-acting poison, and realizing their impact on people around them, they know that retribution and payback are coming, and they defend against it with a very well-evolved fantasy world. Now let's go to Italy, shall we?
Shall we?
I mentioned the study. You can find it in the literature, in the description, or the description is under the video, children, not above the video. Thank you. And what do they say in this research? These are people from Italy. Guillaume Rogier, Alessandro Ammo, Beatrice Simi, and Patrizia Velotti. They sound like retired mafiosi, but actually they are psychologists. And so they were curious if sadism and grandiose narcissism are related. And they wanted to find what in narcissism predisposes a narcissist to act sadistically or even to be a full-fledged sadist. Not just to clarify, only a small minority of narcissists, very small minority, are full-fledged sadists in the sexual sense, in the emotional sense. Sadism is a mental health disorder. It used to be a personality disorder until it's been removed by the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual Committee, but it's still distinct from narcissism. However, sadistic elements, sadistic artifacts, sadistic behaviors, a sadistic tinge to certain traits, these do exist in literally all narcissists. And the researchers in Italy asked themselves, how is this sadism mediated? How does it penetrate and permeate narcissism? And how does it interact with the demands and exigencies and ups and downs, vicissitudes of narcissism? And they found out that
Vicissitudes, fucking
sadism
great
is
word.
intimately
It's on
connected
my
to
cool
malicious
words
envy
list.
and
Love it.
narcissistic rivalry. These are two dimensions of pathological narcissism. And they succeeded to connect pretty convincingly, I think, sadism to grandiose narcissism. Sadism refers to the
Churchill
tendency to
account?
derive pleasure from the suffering of others. Yes, as I said before, it's a component of the new construct of the dark tetrad. The dark tetrad is Machiavellianism, the tendency to manipulate people, subclinical psychopathy that cannot be diagnosed as psychopathy, but has all the hallmarks and behaviors of psychopathy, subclinical narcissism, and subclinical sadism. Now, the tendency to control other people is common to both grandiose narcissism and sadism. Both of these disorders have to do with control freakery, the need to control other people, and underlying that, an anxiety reaction or even anxiety disorder. So there's anxiety about the environment. The only way to mitigate
a Boston steamer is taking a shit on someone's chest, right? There, I said it. Am I right?
or ameliorate this anxiety is by controlling it. And there are two ways to control it: grandiosely via narcissism, or by inflicting pain or threatening to inflict pain. Sadism. The relationship between narcissism and sadism has to do with narcissistic rivalry and malicious envy, as I mentioned. So what is narcissistic rivalry? It's
Rome is amazing.
having negative emotions when someone else receives attention, and having positive emotions when other people fail. So you are elated when people
must be Friday, huh?
fail, collapse, and you feel bad to the point of suicidal ideation even when other people succeed, especially if they succeed in something or in some endeavor
and on screen,
or in some
apparently.
undertaking or in some task or in some field that directly competes with the locus of your
Oh, hi,
grandiosity.
Lynn.
So as a narcissist,
good to see
if you feel that you're a genius,
I'm glad you rocked up now,
and then
not
someone else
2 minutes ago.
gets accolades and applause for his intellectual achievements, you're likely to experience.
Nick, you're going to the bottom of the leaderboard with that question. There's no scat play, no amount of money, never, ever, ever. But no kink shaming either. Oh my God, there's scat play, rainbow play, and water sports. I miss you too. Hey, Lynn, Micah got the Rehome the McAlberts t-shirt. He loves it. He's in chat right now. It's your merch, man. How cool. How cool. Lynn. Oh, trigger warning about talking about Boston steamers, not necessarily about narcissists. I'm sure narcissists with their sexual kinks are more have more of a predisposition to enjoying such a hobby. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Rivalry, narcissistic rivalry. And if you consider yourself handsome and someone else ends up getting all the girls, you're going to experience narcissistic rivalry. And then when they fail with a girl, you're going to experience elation, happiness, contentment, jubilation even, cheer and joy. So this is narcissistic rivalry. Malicious envy is when people compare themselves unfavorably to other people. This is done, for example, copiously in social media. Social media, people keep comparing themselves to other people, a phenomenon known as relative positioning. Social media platforms encourage malicious envy and relative positioning via mechanisms such as likes. So there is malice in social media platforms. They maliciously leverage elements of narcissism and elements of sadism. That's why there's so much verbal abuse and violence and trolling in social media platforms, because they want it to be this way. Okay, social media aside, In relationships between
Pause. I
individuals,
wasn't even listening to any of that. I was watching the chat. I'm going back. He's talking about social media and how it's breeding narcissism. And I think that's kind of relevant for
favorably
everybody.
to other people.
Wait,
This is done for with a girl. You're going to experience elation, happiness, contentment, jubilation, even cheer and joy. So this is narcissistic rivalry. Malicious envy is when people compare themselves unfavorably to other people. This is done, for example, copiously in social media. Social media, people keep comparing themselves to other people, a phenomenon known as relative positioning. Social media platforms encourage malicious envy and relative positioning via mechanisms such as likes. So there is malice in social media platforms. They maliciously leverage elements of narcissism and elements of sadism. That's why there's so much verbal abuse and violence and trolling in social media platforms, because they want it to be this way. Okay, social media aside, in relationships between individuals, people compare themselves to others. And if there's someone who possesses qualities, property, success, a partner, intimate partner, or whatever, that you envy, then if you're a narcissist, you're likely to experience
Good question, Nick. Social media, good or bad overall? I don't know, chat. What do you think? I think good overall. It connects people. That was the whole point. It also can be highly divisive, right? I can't imagine that people who aren't into the Karen Reid case, whether they're antis or free Karen Reid folk, the rest of the world, and I'm sure that's a very large group, I can't imagine there's as much splitting, as much binary stuff going on in the broader and heavy trolling, heavy, like, disgusting ad hominem attacks. Yes, I agree, Pierre. Can be a mix of both. I think we those of us who are on, for example, Twitter. Yikes! Like my news feed, my carefully created feed on Twitter has gone a little off kilter with a bunch of new anti Karen Reid accounts, and it can be kind of vile. But I think, this is social media. YouTube is a social media. This chat community is participating in social media as we type. So, there's a lot of comparison is the thief of joy, as they say, right? So I think things like Instagram, obviously, like that's a false narrative. Facebook can be a little rose-colored glasses, I guess. When you get too real on Facebook, people get a bit sick of you. Holy crap, Twitter is insane. The mute button is very helpful. What the fuck? To not have to see certain accounts. Blocking is helpful if they're being vile, but my during and after the last Karen Reid trial, I had muted a whole lot of, and then also through the whole Flying Monkeys Germans escapade over the start of the year. My news feed was quite pleasant. So you can absolutely curate your Twitter feed to not see all of the yuck shit, the gaslighty, like incensing you into infuriated, like, if you want to. Some people enjoy seeing all that stuff. I'm kind of just like, letting it fly for now. I'm hoping it'll die down. Tony says, I have Twitter. I don't use it very often. More there to give me access to things when I need it. Yes. But rehome the McAlberts, still Walpole. Yes. I have been quite quiet on Twitter over the last 6 months, just promoting my live streams. But since I've gotten back into tweeting a bit of stuff about Karen Reid, does it matter? I've gained 200 followers in the last couple of days, which is kind of cool. Numbers matter. Yes, it's just it feels orchestrated, don't you reckon? It feels like a campaign, like that ludicrous person who I think I even might have shared it in the Discord. Somebody who claims to be a former judge, Massachusetts judge. I can't remember that. Yankee. something is 1 quadrillion% just a troll. It's wild. I think it's going under the guise of somebody who David Yannetti used to practice in front of, appear before. Was that the verbiage? In courts before this guy retired, but I don't think it's the real guy. Tony says, YouTube and Discord are 98% of my social media usage. Tony, I'll have to send you an invite to our Discord. It's much smaller than the Uncivil Law Discord, which we have a fun time in there. Excuse me. Micah. Oh, I'm gifted to Brit. I love it when a friend of the channel, Brit Ketchell, got that one. Thank you so much, Micah. Let me scroll. I don't think they affect the leaderboard, though, if that's your tactic. Tony says they are a judge like Man Shannon is an engineer. Yikes. Nikki says, Nicholas Tickles. Sorry, sir. Nicholas Tickles, my ass. I think Twitter is a cesspool, but Insta, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok is great. It's nuanced. Humanity is losing its communication skills. Steve Jobs started all this with the iPhone. Speaking of iPhone, sidebar, wait. So I finally got my, excuse me, throat cleared. No, I finally got my SIM card and alternative number, so we can do call-ins. My plan was call-ins on the show. My plan was to, and motion to screen what the fuck Grant had found this amusing, and I'm like, what? No, not professional. Was to have the person calling on either WhatsApp or Signal was to just put it on speakerphone and hold it up to the microphone. Apparently that's not the best idea. I don't know. It can't be through a US-based call-in thing. Like, I don't know what the Glare does, but and anyway, nobody can stand that call waiting beeping, so we won't be doing that. I installed WhatsApp onto my laptop and tried to link my old iPhone with that new number to the WhatsApp, and it wouldn't work, which is no surprise. Anyway, that is definitely coming. I know I've been talking about it for a long time, but we'll do it. We might even try it on the Discord streams rather than the YouTube streams, because that will be a little Discord Kick streams. We're doing a test after this, by the way. So that sidebar. Micah, I know you too well. Yes, Pierre, I know you love call-ins. Well, you know what we could do on Discord also? We could do, like, I'm going to say this. You're amazing on call-ins, Pierre. That channel. Yes. But Pierre, that used to be a Discord. Fuck, why am I keep saying Discord? Lord have mercy. That used to be a StreamYard thing. So we'll be able to do the StreamYard thing, putting a link in the chat, like on that channel used to happen, because they were great conversations. So Micah says, I jumped on with Ozzy and Kev over the weekend. Lovely. That's awesome. Old school. Yes. You could do like Steph does and do voice to text. It's not always Steph's friend, but anyway, what we're doing. Press play.
Malicious envy. Malicious envy involves anger, hostility, and aggression, the wish to destroy the object, the person that causes you envy, the object of frustration. So the wish to destroy is a critical component of malicious envy. And in this new study, Rogier and colleagues, they wanted to elucidate somehow the complex relationship between sadism and grandiose narcissism and these two traits, rivalry, narcissistic rivalry, and malicious envy. And they found that there are negative and positive aspects of envy. Malicious envy is the negative aspect. And there is an affirmative link between grandiose narcissism and sadism, mediated via rivalry and envy.
I'm ending the poll, by the way.
They said the following: narcissistic rivalry is a multidimensional construct that includes aggressiveness, struggle for supremacy, and joy in response to other people's failures. Individuals with grandiose narcissism would be therefore prone to experience pleasure when assisting to cause other people pain, especially when this pain is related to a position of inferiority. Our results suggest that grandiose narcissism may be related to the seeking of pleasure in provoking or observing pain in others, as it would strengthen the positive self-image of the narcissist, eliciting positive feelings of self-worth. Regarding malicious envy, a similar interpretation of our results can be formulated. Indeed, malicious envy, in contrast with benign envy, would be triggered by the observation of other people's success and good fortune. Theoretically, in individuals with grandiose narcissism, this perception would elicit hostile feelings towards the fortunate other, as its good fortune would be perceived as an ego threat. This would motivate these
Like the
narcissistic
ranking, the
individuals
XP rank,
to
ego
desire
threat.
other people's failure and the destruction of their superior status. So you can see these people, most of them covert narcissists, but also overt narcissists, trying to take down someone they envy, someone who is intellectually superior to them, more
You went
accomplished
down, you're
in their
number
own
3
field,
now.
and so on and so forth. They can't sleep at night. They absolutely possessed and obsessed with destroying this person, this object that keeps reminding them how.
Wait, what's Schadenfreude? Freud. I'm Googling it. I'll keep playing this. Wait, no. Pause. Too many things I'm doing with my brain at once. I mean, I enjoy the occasional Schadenfreude, but I don't think it's necessarily narcissism, but I can see the link. Huh. Micah, do better. I think it's to do with money. Hi, Colors. Oh, thank you, Steph. Schadenfreude is the internal joy you take at someone else's misfortune. Oh, I've learned something new today. I love that. Thank you. I love words.
Inferior
Am I saying it right? Probably
keeps
not.
generating constant narcissistic injuries. And if this person is a public figure or appears in public, this would create a constant state of mortification, which is
Tony,
unbearable.
this is
and
a problem.
intolerable.
I'm joking.
The narcissist, the envious narcissist, has to destroy the person who causes him injuries and mortification on a permanent basis. There's no other choice, no other solution. Sooner or later, the narcissist is going to erupt in an orgy of malevolent, malicious, and evil attempts to take down the object of frustration. And the findings of this study has implications.
I did
because
see
envy plays a
that.
role in various psychological and psychopathological outcomes, even, for example, in depression and anxiety. But I
We
will not
played
go
wrench hose
into
before,
it.
speaking of.
Many interesting new tools were used in this study, a study which I highly recommend, by the way. I was very impressed. Italians, would you believe this? No offense.
No offense.
So they used the benign.
I love that he drinks red wine. And Nick, back to your former comment, previous comment of how big his wine glass is, or how full his wine glass is. My glass of wine is almost half a bottle. This. Is he German, Swiss? He is. Oh no, colors. Lucky you're here. He is Israeli, but with colors. Remind me. He has one parent who is not Israeli. I can't remember the. So he's a Jew. He's Jewish, but with mixed nationality parents, and I'm sure he's an international lover. No, not lover. How big is his wine rack? Is that a euphemism? I'm not sure. You don't drink from a pint glass, Lisa. You drink from a pint glass. It is quite big. That's what she said. Don't fall for him, Lisa. I'm a sucker for a narcissist. This has been established. Tony says, I prefer my wine straight from the barrel. I mean, I've been known to cut out the middleman and drink my wine straight from the goon bag, as we call it. What do you call it? Box wine. But I was also living in my car at the time, so that tracks. I was like, fuck having a glass. Thank you. Colors, I knew you'd recall. He was born in Israel. His father is Moroccan. His mother is from Turkey. He is a Sephardic Jew. Inches do matter. Oh my God, how old are we all? Sidebar. God, this is Friday Night Feral. It's pre-gaming for Feral Friday on Publicly Buzzed. Anytime in court they talk about inches, and not just in court, anywhere. I'm like, I can't. It just absolutely matter.
And malignant envy scale. They administered self-report questionnaires evaluating sadistic personality. For example,
Honey,
the assessment of
I'll
sadistic
be there on the
personality
weekend,
questionnaire.
next weekend.
They used the pathological narcissism inventory, which is much better than narcissistic personality inventory, although far from perfect. And
Showed Nick
they used the narcissistic admiration and rivalry questionnaire.
both.
Then they applied
The best of
structural
both
equation models to test hypotheses. Very nice work when it comes to statistics. And they found that grandiose narcissism, narcissistic rivalry, malicious envy,
Penny,
positively
hi.
and significantly,
See you.
significantly predicted by the scores on the sadism questionnaire. It's pretty shocking. It means that sadism is an excellent predictor of narcissism, or even maybe a precursor. Remember that in early childhood, pathological narcissism has to do with frustration. The child is frustrated by a dead mother, a mother who is emotionally unavailable, not nurturing, not caring, unloving. There's a lot of frustration there. There's a lot of rage, a lot of impotent, helpless, hopeless anger. The child could well develop sadism in response to this inner turmoil, this volcano of
Of course
repressed
it is.
negative affectivity, negative emotions.
Dick.
The child is unable to attack the mother because the child is dependent on the mother. He is dependent on the source of frustration. Can you imagine the conflict, the dissonance in the child? So instead of attacking the mother, the child develops sadism. In extreme cases, the child develops conduct disorder, which leads later in life to psychopathy in 40% of the cases. And such a child would torture animals or other children, peers. In less extreme cases, the sadism gets subsumed into the general narcissistic pathology of the self. Sadism becomes a dimension, an element of the child's nascent narcissism. The child then learns to hurt people, to cause pain, in order to secure control and power over an environment that causes him frustration. The child learns to link frustration with control, frustration with pain. As the child grows up and becomes an adult, this adult is going to react the same way to any form of frustration. Dollard in 1939 suggested the frustration aggression hypothesis. He says that every frustration is converted into aggression. This is true here as well. The narcissist, when he faces frustration, envy, inability to remedy a situation of inferiority.
Pause. Shelley, interesting. I went to a pain doc in my town and I realized too late he was a literal sadist. Is that because he seemed to get schadenfreude from your pain? Did he inflict further pain? Did he mistreat you in terms of prescribing treatment or medication? How did that look? I'm interested. You have piqued my interest. Piqued my interest. But there's also a lag between what I say and what you hear. So let me press play, and Shelley, I'll come back to that.
Inferiority, constant narcissistic injuries, mortification. This narcissist is going to be driven to extremes of psychopathy. He's going to become seriously malevolent and evil. He's going to conspire, undermine, lie his way through, forge, fake. He's going to become criminalized in his attempts to take down and destroy the object that constantly causes him frustration, injury, and mortification. And so O'Meara defines sadism as a tendency to inflict pain and humiliation on others and to experience pleasure in relation to people's suffering. But this is an inadequate definition, although it's a fairly new one, 2011. We need to reconceptualize sadism as a subclinical variable.
Pause. I just decided to Google Sam Vaknin, but then I came back to chat. Needles in my spine. He said no meds because he had to know where it hurt. Oh, fuck, man. Lordy Dordy. Akasha, not surprised at all. Better than in the yard. And I suppose you have your phone on silent all the time too, so you can't even call it. But how do you... What the fuck says Akasha? You could have said, guess what? And we would have guessed that. No, I would have guessed in the yard. Wait, so here, share this tab instead. Let me just make sure we can see it. We can. Who is Professor Sam Vaknin? So Wikipedia says, his name is Shmuel, Sam Shmuel. Is an Israeli writer and professor of psychology and business studies. And then the Reddit thread, it says down here, and obviously Reddit's a bit of a wild place also, says, don't read or listen to Sam Vaknin. I wonder if this is someone he's scorned. He's a visiting professor in psychology, but says Sam's degree is in physics, not psychology. I just wanted to know how old he was, but, not asking for a friend or anything. Walk and talk, chat. Walk and talk. Born April 21st, 1961. There you go. There I go. It was only me that wondered. Interesting. Now, Pierces. Wait. Oh my goodness, Pierre. Waiting for my oldest daughter to come home from her first date. Yeah. Yikes. Yikes. Was she excited? That is exciting. I hope it's not with a narcissist. Now what have I done? Share this thermostat. Oh my, Pierre. I hope it went well, says Tony, and your nerves aren't too shot, Pierre. What kind of physics? Squint eye. Psychology physics? Yes, his website has a whole section about fighting a smear campaign. So physicist, not psychiatrist. Found your phone. Fantastic. You've never heard of him before? He's my new boyfriend. Shelley, there's physics and then there's crapature physics. Yeah, wow. Congratulations, Kasha, on finding a phone. Bravo. 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 What are you guys doing? The dogs are doing weird stuff in my room.
Not full-fledged, not explosive, not criminal. This sadism in daily life, the sadism of trifles, the sadism of nuance, the sadism of ambience, sadism by proxy, and of course the sadism of the covert narcissist, who is maliciously envious and needs to destroy
Sounds like they're
the
getting
person
randy,
that
actually.
causes him the envy. And because covert narcissism is one step removed from primary psychopathy, the covert narcissist becomes a primary psychopath and criminalized, in effect. Investigation of sadism, conceptualized this way, and the association of sadism with antisocial behaviors, including sexual violence, fraud.
I think I'm going to go to this overt versus covert. If you want to watch the rest of that, it's in the description box. I found it fascinating, but that. Oh my god, I keep getting like tranced out by the chat tonight. I don't know why. I can't even explain why. There's no reason. Hi, it's me. It's just me. It's just me. So, this is interesting. I guess Akasha, you've just spoken about your ex-husband as being a bit of a narcissist. I'm sure all of us have, at some point in our lives, not necessarily been in a relationship with a narcissist. If a relationship, air quotes. It's not actually. It's a dynamic, isn't it? But let's watch Let's watch this. Why isn't it the start? No idea. Oh, play.
On victims and the process of healing and recovery.
Why isn't it
I'm going
very
to
loud?
dedicate a few videos to this question, but today
It
I would
is.
like to start from the topic of language, because language is a very critical instrument in the arsenal of the narcissist. Narcissist uses language, verbal abuse, repetitive rhythmic iteration of utterances. Narcissist uses all these sounds basically to entrain the target, to penetrate the victim's mind.
Song break
to
soon. That's a
instill
good
an
idea. Princey wanted me to do a poll for a song break, but it's, you know, I'll do that next time. Now that's a great idea, Shelley. Let me think. What about flying monkeys? That makes sense, and that's a good one. We like that one, don't we? It's relevant.
It's shorted arrangement syndrome, see? United in your hatred of me. Entitled bullshit, slinging blame. Bet you feeling that hot shame. Blinding flash of clarity from the get came after me. Misogynistic piece of shit. 4 long months you had me fooled. Better late than never, no, 'cause I see you, indeed I do. Energy vampires flaming in the sun. Wicked witches of the West Water, get me some. Mind blown, true color shown. Flying monkeys doing what you're told. Blinding flash of clarity from the get came after me. Misogynistic piece of shit. 4 long months you had me fooled. Better late than never, no, 'cause I see you, indeed I do. Ask yourself, what's the common thread? Who's the one been driving this? Take a step back, think long and hard. The only guy coming to chat. If none of what you've heard seems right, it feels like things are day and night. The shit he said don't seem to fit. Ask yourself, is he legit? Blinding flash of clarity from the get came after me. Misogynistic piece of shit. 4 long months you had me fooled. Better late than never, no, I see you, yes indeed I do. Come ask me, like actually it all adds up now piece by piece. Path of destruction leads to him. What's done is done, it is what it is. Blinding flash of clarity from the get came after me. Misogynistic piece of shit. 4 long months you had me fooled. Better late than never, no, I see you, yes indeed I do. Shorty derangement syndrome. Tell me who is pushing it. Yeah, exactly. And y'all ran with it.
They are all shit people, to be honest. Yeah, that's a bit of a blast from the past, isn't it? Tony says, I like the cover art. Thank you. Yes, AI art is the tits. It's a great image as a standalone image, and if you know the backstory, it's even better. Because lol, man in the van. Wait, that also. Let me just hang on. Probably should play this little Nico soundbite too, right?
Now,
not that one.
And I want to be honest with people. I don't want to be somebody I'm not. I don't live in a van. That's not me. I'm not that man. So I want to be real.
Oh, so good. So good. Okay, covert versus overt. Covert versus overt narcissists, and the language they use to weaponize the language they use as weapons to carry out their destruction.
Project there, and to continue to control and manipulate the victim, sometimes from afar, remotely. The role of language is critical. I'm dedicated to it. several videos. You can find the links in the description. But today I'm going to attack this issue from a different angle. My name is Sam Vaknin. I'm the author of Malignant Self-Love, Narcissism Revisited, and therefore very adept with languages.
Oh, what's this?
And I'm a professor of psychology. Whether you choose to believe it
We
or
believe you,
not,
Sam.
that's entirely your problem. Remember, there's a 3-day seminar in Skopje, the Republic of North Macedonia, May 22nd to May 25th, free.
Pause. Also, the seminar he's talking about is actually on the YouTube channel. It's going ahead at the moment. So if you were interested in seeing Sam in, he calls these lectures anyway, but if you wanted to see him actually teaching to people, I haven't watched any of them yet, but I noticed them on his channel. Pierre asks, real question, do we notice this narcissistic behavior more often now because we have language for it, or are there more narcissists? I think it's a little bit of both. I think for me personally, 10 years ago, I had no understanding of, I mean, we can feel when we're being treated like shit. We can feel when people are, gaslighting, like lying to our faces when we know what we know, and crazy making shit. Now we have names to and terminology to put to that phenomenon. Sam speaks about there being a rise in narcissism in Western society, and points to it being a survival of the fittest type adaptation. And I think I touched on this last week a little bit, in that, you know, people who have no scruples, who are happy to trample on others to get to where they want to get, who have no qualms about treating people poorly, and who have cold empathy but don't absorb the emotions of others. So cold empathy versus emotional empathy. Cold empathy is what narcissists have. They can see through to your soul, right? And then use it against you. So I think it's a little bit of both, but there's also I mean, people cringe. A lot of people cringe at the word narcissist, and it is thrown around inaccurately, that term, a lot more lately. Same as gaslighting, but I don't know. I think it's pretty nuanced. That's a pretty nuanced question. Hi, Missy. Good to see you. Listening, learning, and lurking. Lovely. We love our listen, learner, lurkers. We love you, obviously. Peer, great question. Definitely. Let me just keep scrolling. Simi says, peer. In my opinion, we just notice it more. I think it's always been prevalent. Absolutely. But then when we think back to what Sam mentioned before in the previous video about social media, obviously in the last, 15 years, I think Facebook was 2007 or 2008. That was the first kind of, I mean, MySpace was before that, but Facebook, the social media kind of template, in a broad sense of the word, has been around for about 15, 16, 17 years. I think that sort of the way that's sort of tooled, set and the kind of personality traits that it encourages. I think we're going to see a prevalence. I personally think there's going to be a rise in narcissistic tendencies, not necessarily diagnosable narcissistic personality disorder, folks, if that makes sense. Both, yay. Both, yay. Tony says, I think it's more about narcissists having access to larger platforms. So while there might not be more of them, we get to see them more. Yes. Good point. More visibility, more optics. Smartphones, social media, YouTube, 24/7 television, or visual media, whether that's YouTube or traditional legacy media or stuff. And any dickhead can get in front of a camera these days and just talk. Myself included, as you don't have to be employed by anybody to have a platform, right? So good point, Tony P. Exactly. Micah says, Pierre, I would imagine it's closer to the first, in the same way that there are now more ADHD diagnoses because people are more aware and reporting tracking has gotten better. Sam Vaknin has an interesting take on neurodivergence. It's controversial. It had me a little bristling. That's okay. But I do see his point. He feels like autism and ADHD diagnoses are akin to, and the rise in the prevalence of, everybody's got a little bit of autism, right? No. It is akin to the satanic panic of the 80s and the rise of there was a great slew of therapists and mental health practitioners, diagnosing childhood sexual abuse by parents in about the same time, of sort of irresponsible therapists, that there's money to be made in diagnosing things of people that maybe they're not so satanic or so much a victim of sexual abuse as a child, or necessarily autistic or neurodivergent, because there's money to be made. So capitalism, and that there's unscrupulous people in the world of psychology and psychiatry, and perhaps that's contributing. That's a bit of a sidebar. Yes, Color says, we used to call them politicians. Before you got here, Colors, we had a bit of a conversation about whether all or most politicians are probably narcissists. I mean, you have to have a certain degree of thick-skinnedness to be a social media personality, influencer, YouTuber. You have to have a degree of confidence and like delusion that people might want to hear what you're talking about. I'm putting myself into that category. It's not for the faint-hearted. Absolutely. Which is why it's probably destroying my mental health and the entitlement. Micah says, Peter, it's the same thing with many diseases and diagnoses. There's always more and more research going on, so researchers have more information, hence reporting and detection gets better. Yes, strongly agree. Or that people keep breeding and increasing the population, says Steph. Yes. Shelley says, I had no freaking idea what an actual narcissist was until I was run over by one, and it took until recently to realize I wasn't the narc. I remember you saying that in chat. Yikes. Yay, I love you too, Missy. I think I don't think there are many, if any, narcissists who soul search to their depths to work out whether that's 2004. Thanks. Search to the depths of their soul as to whether perhaps they're a narcissist. And I've been doing a bit of that lately. I don't think narcissists have that desire or ability to do that kind of introspection. They just don't. So. 2004. Sports people, musicians, online influencers, politicians, their single-minded nature, it leads them to have narcissistic tendencies. Yes, which is different to narcissistic traits, tendencies, style is different to, obviously, than a diagnosable, DSM-5 narcissistic personality disorder. But people can have lean. Everybody does. It's healthy to have some degree of narcissism. Otherwise, we'd just be like jellyfish, spineless, quivering, crying in the corner. Oh, wait, that could also be me. Missy says, as a people pleaser, this is all good info for me. Good. I'm sorry we've been going on so many side quests, sidebars, and like adult only shit, but we get to the heart of the matter eventually. Listen here, Miss What the Fuck. You're one of the babies in the chat. We need to stop worshipping fame, but continue to worship me, okay? Because I'm a saint. I'm just saying. It feels good to have people adoring you. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was thinking about this before we came on. Wait, let me get rid of. Sorry, Sam. Let me come to my TED talk. I was thinking about this just before. Well, it was hours ago. But I was making my bed, and I was thinking about our relatively little community, it's a small community, and I love that. I would love for our community to grow, and it will. But I was thinking about the fact that what if I was having some self-doubt? What if me being me is only, and this is what I'm doing, like the stuff that I'm interested in is this shit, right? And trials, psychology, trials, neurodivergence, like words, weird stuff. What if it's too niche? What if I don't have mass appeal for the kind of growth that theoretically I'm aspiring to? Channel growth. Because even though I get a lot of satisfaction, personal satisfaction, like heartfelt support and community and like friendship from you all, I also have aspirations in terms of channel growth, and numbers matter, inches matter, and clicks and views, and also, like financially, it's a lot of work for small, relatively low view numbers, and I didn't even remember to put my AdSense on for today. So it's like fuck money. Who cares? But it's an interesting question. Like how to I perhaps here. Just let me talk out my ass. Perhaps that's a good indicator that I'm personally not a narcissist, because I don't have a succeed at all costs mindset, and I do a lot of introspection. What do you all think? Let me scroll. Pammy says, lived with a narcissist for so long. I thought he was unique. Lol. I've learned not so. No, they're fucking garden variety, right? Oh, Nicholas Ticholas. Absolutely, we should be worshipping men in robes with great fashion and a new couch, right?
Not a deal breaker, but I'd like to know. Thank you.
God, I'm so far back in chat. I just always wonder as our perspective shifts. Did I see Salty just joined the chat? Hi, Salty. Hi. I'm so far back in chat. Hey, friends. Yeah, like 7 minutes behind. Fuck. What am I doing with my life? Hi, Salty. One's in the chat if Hank is a narcissist. Hank's a psychopath. He does it with intentionality. 100%. He knows exactly what he's doing. Alters. Alerts. Same. Wait, I'm scrolling. Walk and talk. Micah says, Lisa, you're 100% correct about that. One of my favorite artists is Tom Petty. Usually people think he's just a chill rock and roll dude. When you actually peel the onion, he was a perfectionist. Yeah, that's a tough one to walk. Scrolling, keeping an eye on the time, because don't get mushy. Because we're going to do a little Discord. Fuck, every time my brain. I think my brain groups Discord and Kick in the same kind of alternative little niche category in my brain. I don't know. Kick. We're going to do a Kick test after this, but before Feral Friday, which sidebar also will go to kick after some time on the tubes with Will the Glairer as the guest, and we're watching Frankenhooker. So that we're doing that. We'll do that in a bit. Lisa, I love your community. No, I love your community, Lisa. If it grows too fast, it won't feel as personal, in my opinion. Yes, growth is good. To a certain but slow growth. Yeah, growth. Yes, I strongly agree. But that's because you exude love, acceptance, and radiate equality to us all, Lisa. Well, thank you. I love it. I love you all. Bridgie says, if people could buy more merch, I could buy more super chats. I haven't done that donation yet either. Fuck. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, all proceeds from the merch store go to paying the beautiful mods. But we didn't make enough from merch last month, so we're doing a donation instead. But what if you do get huge because size matters and you don't get out of it what you get out of it now? Good point. Good point. Good point. I guess for me, like here's my problem. Chat. Here's my problem, shorties. I'm tired. It's the time zone difference. I can't deal with getting up at 4:00 in the morning on weekends, but then I don't want to not stream. I can't go later. We can't miss out on Feral Friday publicly buzzed. Like that's a hard stop as much as I can possibly do it. I can't live stream any other day of the week. I can't afford to not work, and I live it on the other side of the planet. And so for me, there's a cost of my time versus like time is money, right? And when I'm so tired, I start thinking, I can't. That sounds like I do it for the money. And Shelley had a little talk to me a few months ago saying Steve, publicly buzzed Steve, doesn't do it for the money. He does it for the love. And I don't do it for the money either. But also, like, yeah, buy the merch. Yeah, Tony, that's my problem. The stuff that I love is a little too niche. And my problem with my potty mouth, my absolute refusal to use any of those stupid YouTube friendly words, I refuse to censor myself. I refuse, and I refuse to censor the chat. I'm not going to do it. So I guess that's a decision I've made for myself and for the channel to remain as just 1,000,000,000% authentic. And I couldn't do like I struggled. For example, I struggled covering the ASAP Rocky trial when we took a little bit of a break from Karen Reid stuff because there was nothing happening and just other things. That was so hard. It was hard slog. No, it wasn't. It was hard audio. It's hard. I'm even like we've gone to doing some like these psychology corner episodes rather than doing Karen Reid both nights. And I'm Karen Reid all the way, right? I'm so heavily invested in all of it. I believe in Karen's factual innocence, but I was starting to I was like dreading it. Like, I don't want to just talk about Karen Reid all the time. There's so much more that I want to talk about and share with you all. I just don't know if it's too niche, but that's okay. Niche is fine. I love our little niche. Hey, thanks for coming to my stream of consciousness. The end. Now, Piers says, I don't care what people think about me unless they think I am cruel or unfair. I'm guessing narcissists don't let that bother them. Actually, I think you'll find it's the opposite. I think you'll find narcissists absolutely care, but so Sam talks about borderline personality disorder folks, he believes, are failed narcissists. They try. Wait. No, it's the other way. Borderline personality disorder behaviors come from childhood, and if those behaviors worked, the borderline sticks in those behaviors, where everything is internalized. They take it all on board, and that's how they cope with their worldview, right? Then narcissists, if that doesn't work for them as a child, like not consciously, they then go to the narcissistic behaviors, which is everything is an object. Inside is inside, and outside isn't going to come in at all. But I think that everything a narcissist does is deflection and trying to not absorb the reality of what people think. And was it in this video? No, we haven't even started this video. In the last one, or perhaps no, yeah, it was the last video. Sam talked about and I mentioned, when you, and I've said it last week as well, when you call a narcissist or someone who has an asshole, a toxic person, or someone who has narcissistic tendencies or more, when you call them out on their behaviors and like show that, put the mirror right up to them and say, this is what you're doing. I'm not going to be standing for it. This. They're like, they can't, because it's too close to the truth. They very much care. Grandiose, overt narcissists, less so. Vulnerable, covert narcissists, yeah, they're like, think the pirate is a covert narcissist. Diagnosing, abso-fucking-lutely. That's what she said. I'm behind, but yes. That's what she said. Oh, well, shit. I love it. Time zones are a bitch. Time zones are rude on a personal level. Fills my batteries. It absolutely does. Last year you were earning more. Yes. This is my worst, May will be my worst ever month of YouTube earnings. April was my second worst, and I streamed for 10 consecutive days. I'm just a terrible fucking grifter. My content doesn't incense people throwing money at me, and that's fine. Miss Shorty, you need to open a portal, like a Laurie Vallow Daybell portal. That, thanks, Pammy. Like that, yes. Steve's YouTube pays gypsies, vet, and food. Yes. It's good to have a place where you can say what you want. Yes. Miss Shorty does it Miss Shorty's way. That's why we're here. Yeah. Well, fuck. No, but Defense Diaries also has like, I'm not an attorney as much as I have Esquire after my name. I don't have as much clout. I'm literally, and I'm not going to lie, the smear campaign and the monkeys, the Germans, fucked me over backwards. No lube. That bullshit fucked my reputation. Took us back by 700 subscribers, and those people will never come back. And the smear campaigns are fucked. Yeah, man. It's also your time and energy and blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve to be compensated. Thank you. It's Saturday and it's winter. Yes, it's going to be 15 degrees. The end. Wait. The end. I feel like Sam talks like TED Talks, but different. Yes. Scrolling. Steph. Super sticker. Boom. This?
Well.
What about this?
How did you get my digits? Question mark.
What do you say about that, Mr. Brennan?
Shit.
Thanks, Steph. Did that affect your leaderboard? Well, I don't do, I literally don't do anything. I don't do anything else other than work and stream. Like it's and I love my job. I love my job and I love my streaming and my community. Like love. And then when I have time off, I'm like, no, I can't. I want to stream all the time. I'm like, fuck, I should have taken some time off. Yikes. Micah hates the leaderboard. Yikes. KKK. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, colors. We aren't quite sure. There's been a lot of competition in the chat to try and research to try and work out what, but apparently it's chat interactivity, super chat, super stickers, but then people throw a bit. It's kind of a good grift, but it doesn't affect your leaderboard. Apparently, I don't know. Who's number one at the moment? Is it still what the fuck? Yeah, let me check. Go back and check again. Yeah, what the fuck's still number one? 300 XP. And YouTube doesn't know that you're backstage doing everything. What the fuck? Steph, you're number 3. Shelley, number 4. Nick, you're number 5. Sucks to be Nick. Tony's on 200. Micah, you're still only on 150. Huh. Who else? Well, there you go. I'm not even sure. It's wild. We don't know. I think it's about sending me money. I'm joking. I'm joking. And Butterfly, you were number 1 before, and now you're number 8. Rude. How dare you? That's assault. Oh, hi, Mr. Berry. Sherry Berry, Mr. Berry. XP, what was it again? Something. It stands for something. Gosh, I'm not sure. No, motion to scream what the fuck does not suck. She sucks and swallows. Nick, it cost me a fortune today. I'm not on the podium. I think the problem is like it's going to have to be more money. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, yes, Missy. Terrible. It's a trauma response, Missy. Trauma response. Busy work is a trauma response. XP, experience. Ah, like, is that like connections, Jodie Hildebrand? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Experience. Oh, Akasha. So nothing to do with narcissists. Oh, the most important thing I've learned today, you can touch baby bunnies, and as long as the mommy bunny doesn't see you, she will continue to care for them. How about that? Lisa is awesome. Sure. Shorty, just popping in to say hello and to compliment you on your emerald choice. Off to the hay shed now for sleep. Well, thanks, Timberman. You're in Ireland, right? Thanks. I wanted to wear my cherry earrings and I thought that would match nicely. How about that? Hey, so wait. We went off the rails. Hi, Kimbers. Hey. So, Prince, how? I don't know what we're asking. So what we're going to do is chat. Do you have kick? It's easy. Princey got kick. It's easy. You can do it. Easy. We've all got kicks. Kick. We're going to do a test stream next. Test stream for kick. Because tomorrow night, if the test stream works, after our YouTube, actually we'll start on YouTube per publicly buzzed. Great idea. After our week 6 recap for Karen Reed, Steph still trying. Feels like a scam. I love you either way. Don't send me money. I'm joking about the sending money, but thank you so much. It could be a scam. Pierre, you're in the draw for a Miss Shorty merch t-shirt. Thank you. Cha-ching. So here's what we're doing. I'm going to end this stream. Thank you so much. We didn't get much learning done today, but we had a lot of community and love. And Pierre, you're in the draw. So I don't have a YouTube stream set up for the kick thing because it's on Kick. But if you go to Miss Shorty Delight, that's me. Total scam. And follow me there. I have 13 followers, so it's we got to start somewhere. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. click on that link, and we're going to end this stream with Chatty's Bay, of course. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Oh, no, I'll see you on Feral Friday after the test stream. We're going to do a quick test to make sure it works. If it doesn't work, and tomorrow night at 6 for the week 6 recap. Shelley's over there. Come on in. Boom. Amazing. Let's hope it works. And then come to Feral Friday. Will the Glare is going to be guesting on Feral Friday tonight to watch Frankenhooker. There'll be definitely boobs. I also like baby bunnies. Is that a euphemism? Again. So thank you, mods. Thank you. Congratulations, Simi, on becoming a mod. I'm so proud of you. Oh, wait. Yes. Long overdue, my girl. Thank you so much. I'll tell Tim you love him. Boobs. Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, chat. I love you. I'll see you. Kick. Feral Friday. We'll just hang out all the time. And Discord. I love you all very, very much. See you on Kick. I hope. Fuck. Maybe. Mwah.
I love you all so very much. We had a blast just chatting and stuff. Things may have gone bit off the rails. Professional when all else fails. 'Cause chat is babe, so much to say. Emotes and all the caps out. May have been cheese, bit faster please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. We're skating through all the tough things, learning about this and that, defense motions, prosecution, and narcissistic twats. 'Cause chat is babe, so much to say. Emotes and all the all caps out. May have been cheese, bit faster please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. Community, just you and me. Occasionally, Buster and Poppy. It's a whole thing, Miss Shorty swing. Together we make each other happy. 'Cause chat is babe.